Hey, I think I'm back to being Mystic Mac. That was the prediction. I said it was either going to be a comfortable Liverpool win or it was going to be one of those games where one mistake wins the game. And I think it was a little bit of both for Liverpool FC. And I think Brighton, just as we said in the preview, they struggle a lot with finishing, right? They struggle a lot with putting away their chances. That's been their biggest curse this season as a whole. They do a great job of pressing, which we saw in the first 15, 20 minutes or so. We had a really hard time dealing with the press of Brighton. But Jones dropping into that midfield pocket from right back helped us build up, help us move the ball up the pitch. And of course, I think off the rip, Milos Kerkez, our man of the match, did a lot of really good work on that left-hand side in terms of the wings. I think he saw that Robbo performance. I think he saw Robbo put in some of those but push the envelope, force the effort, force the initiative a little bit on that left-hand side. And I think Kerkez, that was the best version of Milos Kerkez that I think I've ever seen him in a Liverpool shirt, right? Probably a vintage, if you can even say that, as a 22-year-old performance from Kerkez was outstanding. Absolute colossus at left back. He dies for every single challenge that he goes into, right? And then the beautiful play, him just being on top of and being aware and being there and assertive. Being able to capitalize on that loose ball and recover the ball and put in a dangerous cross for Curtis Jones to tap it in. And that was a part of some of the keys to victory we talked about in our preview that we had yesterday of Curtis Jones needs to be played. In that third sub point of feed Florian, I think you surround Florian Wirtz with players like him. Florian did not have the best game today. I think he was a little bit anonymous, and it could just be a little bit of fatigue on his end. 3 games in a row that he's played in short succession, and he worked very hard in that last Sunderland game, but did what he needed to do in that midfield. But Curtis Jones, outstanding match today. I think it goes in order in terms of man of the match. Milos Kerkez, Dominic Szoboszlai, who we will talk about in a second. You better believe we will talk about him in a second. Mo Salah, and then I would say Curtis Jones, right? I think those were the 4 best players on the pitch today, and they showed quality, they showed effort, they showed the ability to be able to play quickly and beat players on the wing. And I think Kerkez, that influence from Kerkez spilled over to the right wing, because we ain't seen Unk move like that in a while. We ain't seen Mo Salah move like that in a while. The little body feint, turned the defender, ran at him, kept going, kind of gave him a little Unk shove a little bit, and then sold the penalty a little bit, won that in the box. And that's like one of those, you go in the park and you play pickup and Unk shows up, a little older guy comes and you find out that he's the truth and he was probably a crazy winger back in the day and he just knows all the tricks of the trades. He's crafty. He's crafty. And Mo Salah was very crafty in creating that penalty chance for him today. A goal and assist for Mo Salah. I love seeing that. We had a discussion in the Discord a little bit of where does it go for Mo Salah from here? Do you allow him to go to Saudi Arabia? And for me, personally, I don't think so. I don't think you let him go to Saudi. I think you try to keep him at the club as best as you can, and you retire Mo Salah at this club. And you maybe potentially have a talk with him of a potentially changing his role a little bit. I think he still produces. He's playing better than most of the wingers in the Premier League right now. I think he gets a lot of flack because he's just been so good, so habitually good that he's held to such a high standard where his numbers are literally better than some of the best wingers in the Premier League. They're better than Anthony Gordon. They're better than Saka. They're better than Esteval. They're better than, name your winger. Mo Salah's numbers this season are actually probably still better than that winger. So I don't know if you give him, I don't know if you let him leave, because who do you go in and replace Mo Salah with, where the next guy that you bring in wouldn't be better to a second choice and maybe even to a center forward, because I do think he plays his best work a little bit closer into the pitch, and being able to combine and play 1-2s with midfielders. But absolutely outstanding work today. Much better from Mo Salah. It's been a rocky season as a whole, but it's good to see the players being able to get a good win, look comfortable on the ball, and look like their old selves, right? But this team seems to be string these wins together. because top 4 is in sight. This is where Arne Slot earns his. So keep it real. And from what I've seen this season, it hasn't been good enough. It's getting better over the past 2 games. The jury is still out for Arne Slot. It's starting to make sense now for him. He's learning. Mind you, he's still a very young manager. He hasn't been managing for very long, and he is still very young. I think there are areas in his managerial game that he can improve, like the man management, like squad rotation, which I think he's dropped the ball on big time. And I think he got away with last season. I think that was a really poor part of his game last season, and he rarely rotated the squad. We saw rotations today. We saw Kerkez get game time. We saw Chiesa get game time. We saw Rio finally get game time. I want to see that happen more often and less injuries happen, right? And more effort, more intensity, and better finishing. I saw the first finishing drill all season in the build-up to this match, and lo and behold, we put away our easy chances today. But overall, I think in conclusion, I think we can sum up that Dominic Szoboszlai is that guy. I think Dominic Szoboszlai is supposed to be the next man up at Liverpool right now, just based off of this season. He's built from season 1, season 2, and season 3. This shouldn't be a surprise. He was good in season 1. He was great in season 2. He's world class in season 3. Where would this Liverpool team be without his goals, without his assists, without his contributions defensively as well? He was outstanding today. I mean, you might have to give the man of the match to Dominic Szoboszlai. If you look at it as a whole, I mean, him and Kerkez were unbelievable. You know that meme with the twins that are dancing, and they're dancing in sync like that? That's like Szoboszlai and Kerkez. The Hungarian sensations. I love it, man. And honestly, you may have to give them the money. I think we might have to have a tough talk about potentially giving Dominic Szoboszlai the money. I think he deserves to be one of the best paid midfielders in the world. And I think if we decide not to actually pay him what he believes he's worth, I think he'll go and be a fantastic player somewhere else. I'm seeing some news about Real Madrid and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that happens. I don't know. You know, Trent is his best friend. He does have a little bit of a Real Madrid type of air to him, but his son was, his kid is born in Liverpool. He's got some roots down in here. And from what I understand, at least in the past interviews that he's done recently, he seems happy at Liverpool. And I think he does deserve that $200,000 to $300,000 range. The way he hit that ball today, boys. Punished it. And he only scores screamers, boys. But the numbers, they're already surpassing last season. He's probably going to end up with 20-plus goals and assists from midfield, playing everywhere all over the pitch, from right back to left back to DM to 8 to 10, played as a winger before. Those are the type of players you give the bag to because they freaking went and earned it on the pitch, guys. I love it. I love seeing the players happy. I love seeing the players win. Look good, look confident out there. I think this team is starting to look confident, but I hope this back line holds up. I saw Ibu hobbling around a little bit. That is going to be the pin that holds the building together. If that gets undone, if VVD gets a knock, if Konate gets a long-term injury, it's going to be a hard season for Arne Slot. I think that's probably a rest of season at least. I think that's going to be one of the big things that potentially could hold this team back. And it's the whole entire rest of the season, the hopes are lying on that. If our backline can stay healthy, if our midfielders can stay versatile and cover that right back position until Frimpong gets back, and if we can get Isak before the end of the year, I think we can go on a run. I think we can get better and do something special. But I will hold true and say, if Arne Slot does not continue to make the right decisions, the obvious calls, right, not be too clever, I think we can get something out of this season and not embarrass ourselves. But the contrary is still very much available, boys, okay? Jury is still out. This Brighton side isn't very good, to be honest, right? They're struggling more than we are struggling this season, but it's a good indication and potentially can be used as a springboard to go on a good, solid run. We won't have any, football for the next 10 days or so. So more videos will be coming out to help us get through the break. I appreciate all of you guys. But the last thing I want to ask is, does Arne Slot keep his job, right? If we get top 4, if we get FA Cup, go on a deep UCL run, Does Arne Slot keep his job? I want to know what you guys think. And if he doesn't, what has to happen for him to keep his job? But I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in yesterday. Thanks for tuning in the last video. We'll see you on the next one. We're so close to 10K, boys. Unbelievable. Peace. Boom.